just keep passing it over.
Yeah, hello, we're live. I'm not sure how far behind. Yeah, see, there it is. It's already gone. It's already gone. Yeah, we're live, and I don't know if I'm here, if I'm stopped or whatever, but I'll continue talking. And then, and you know what? I'll just play an intro somewhere along the lines. If I can find the bloody thing. I can't find the bloody thing. This is a disaster.
Oh, what a great start! What a great start!
Absolute pain in the arse.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Leeds are shit.
We're recording, you know.
Oh, shit.
We're the good staff. I don't think we've got the personnel.
You can fucking laugh all you want, you absolute fella.
I think about things. That's why you lot are idiots.
A melted version of a dick that's been shrink wrapped. The absolute elite shithousery of this.
So, not sure if anyone heard me the first time, but welcome to the pod. My internet, as Bryn rightly points out in the comments, the lads are a bit brave letting me host tonight because of his buffering. So, yeah, there you go. Even in Dublin, Ireland, he's watching. How are you, Bryn? How's it going, Smarty and Luke? You doing all right, lads?
Fandabadoze.
For now. We'll see how the weekend and the evening, tomorrow evening, pans out, shall we?
Oh, okay, right, yeah. Well, that's fair enough. So, yeah, we've got a fairly normal pack show for you tonight. A bit of chat about the game on Saturday. I know, lads, you were on B and C, but we'll get to that in a bit. But first, I think, where is it? There it is.
Ought to know better predictions.
I've not hosted for a while, and there's probably a very good reason for that. So it's fun.
Yes.
Well, like I've wrote down a load of stuff, and I'm fairly organised. It's just I'm not navigating it that well because I haven't done it.
Writing things down, Cal, does not give you the. You cannot say you're fairly organised because you've written a few bits down. We've already had 3 requests from you. We've already had 3 requests. I'm organised, right? You're not organised. You're a delegator. You just don't like doing things. You've asked.
I did shit today, man. Like I set up the stream. I wrote down stuff. I asked you to put in shit takes of the week. Don't sit there and give me grief, man.
I know. I'm not.
Anyway,
I'm not.
Thought you were taking.
There you go.
Telling.
Fuck that shit. Smarty, I'll come to you for the predictions. Is that all right? Ooh.
Oh, fucking hell, is it? Yeah.
Oh, is it fine. Luke, is it? Is it Luke,
no,
yeah?
You've not asked either of us to do this. You've just
I'll do it. Let's go. So I don't know what people predicted and things this week, and I know that it's very, very small, but we do have some people starting to run away with it very, very slowly. Joe is top on 22. Lockie and Gilly not too far behind on 21 and 19. We have a few on 18, a few on 17. Me myself on 16, and then Big Lou right down at the bottom. We've not a Leeds podcast. Danny on 9. No point going into it too much depth because I don't know what people predicted, but it looks like there was quite a few 5-pointers in there.
Briefly, Luke went 4-0, Jay went 5-0, I went 3-0, Top Banana for the fans went 3-0. I don't know what you went, Carl.
3-0.
3-0 as well. So me and Carl and the fans with a nice fat 5 points.
Oh no, I think I might have. Yeah. I think I might have.
What is good is that, a few weeks ago I was right at the very bottom, and look at me now. Whoa!
Yeah,
mid-table.
Look at you.
It's like being back in Championship in the good old days. Anyway.
Nice. Luke, thanks for that.
Ought to know better predictions.
So yeah, we'll just move on to a bit of Preston talk. I'm aware that you boys were on B and C on Sunday with the lad from the Plymouth podcast and not another lead pod, Danny.
What was his name from the Plymouth podcast, Carl? Just
Aaron.
Oh, Smarty.
Sorry.
I did watch it, by the way. I was in the comments, remember?
I know you were. That's why I was gonna. That's why I was gonna test your knowledge.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for saving that one, Smarty. Appreciate that.
Sorry, mate, I got you back. Don't you worry.
Sweet. I'd like to talk about player performances over anything about the match, because he kind of did the death that you were on for an hour and 15 or so minutes. I want to talk about Aaronson's performance. Me and Gilly had a bit of a chat in the group, and you boys as well, that he's really not up to scratch at the moment. And what do you think of that, Luke? Give me a breakdown of how you think Aaronson.
I think we're being very harsh if we say he's not up to scratch at the minute. He's playing. I mean, he fits our system far better than arguably than. Sorry, doesn't definitely, but arguably fits our system better than Georgie does. Obviously, Georgie's gone on and he's doing all right at Brighton. Although I did see a tweet saying somebody slamming Georgie for his defensive work, where he should have took a yellow card the other day, and Liverpool went through and Salah scored. But they wanted to give him us back after a couple of games. So I mean, he's had a couple of moments of brilliance. But that's what we were used to at Leeds United, if you remember. You know, he was very quiet in games, and I almost think we give him a little bit of a pass because he was a likable character, and defensively he was absolutely shocking. Let's be honest, he did fuck all defensively. Aaronson does work hard defensively, and he almost starts that press that Pirro's now joining in with, which is nice to see. I just think Aaronson fits. Look, he's not the best player in the team. He's never going to be the best player in our team. And if we go to the Premier League, we do need a better number 10. But I think in this system and Daniel Farke's system and the way that he's made tweaks this season, I think he fits it far better. And I believe that.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Smarty. What are your opinions on it?
My opinions on Aaronson are that he's doing absolutely fine. You know, he's contributing well. I think he's only just got the one assist, but he's chipped in with a few goals this season as well. And you know, when you talk about Aaronson and his possession, etc., you know, Georgie used to lose the ball quite a lot as well. If you give me the choice, would I take Jorginho or would I have Aaronson in the team? I think I would always choose Jorginho because of just the joy that it was to watch him play football. And I don't take anything away from Aaronson. But I just love that flamboyant sort of play that he used to bring to the team. I just it used to bring a joy to all of us. I think when we're watching him, and that's I think that's a fair point. But I'm absolutely fine with Aaronson. The fact that people are saying that he's no good, that he's absolutely shy, is this, that, and the other, is just an absolute. It's just nonsense. He's effective in that role. Yes, we could have had better. Gus Hamer would have probably suited that role more. However, as I always like to say, you can only piss with the dick you've got, and he is the dick that we've got. So I'm happy with him. He runs well. He's tenacious. He likes to get stuck in. I've got no issue. I've got no issues with
It's
Aaronson.
fireworks I can hear in the background. It's not your mic. It's not your mic.
Yeah.
Sorry, apologies. It's fireworks. I never twigged.
It's playing in the arse.
I won't ask where you are, but your mic is proper buzzing away like.
I could change room, but it's fucking all sides of the house, like, so it's not going to make a difference. I'll be honest with you, Aaronson, for me, I think he's doing a lot of good. Yeah, I think he's doing a lot more good on the pitch than he is negative, really, and I think he's starting to. I think he's starting to win a lot of fans over, considering the reception that most people gave him. You know what I mean? And for me, I think, like you've both mentioned, in that 10 role, he is the best that we've got. That's a natural kind of number 10 at the minute, and he brings a lot of energy. I like the fact that it's like he's encouraging Pirro to press by him just going and starting it, like Smarty said. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of. I know we'll get on to Pirro in a bit, but he does look like he slacks sometimes, and then when he sees a player that's meant to be playing further back than him actually pressing ahead of him, it kind of tends to kick him in the arse and get his arse in gear, So it's nice to have a bit of energy like that in the number 10, and like you said, Smarty, he does work his socks off to get back and defend when the needs be, like, you know what I mean?
There's pros and cons for every player, isn't there? Your pros with Jorginho were that he was flamboyant and he was a flair player, whereas your pros for Aaronson is he covers well and he tracks back and he tries to defend. Two completely different ends of spectrum, but both as valuable as each other probably. Except maybe Jorginho was slightly kinder on the eye than Aaronson, but
I think
There's no doubt in that. Look, Georgie was a revelation and something we really needed last season at times to get us up off the seats when things weren't going too well. It was usually when he wasn't playing that well. In honesty, between him and Somerville, they pretty much carried that team last season. So yeah, there's no denying that he's a more exciting player and a much better player than Aaronson in terms of watching, but sometimes you don't necessarily need the better player. You need somebody who's going to stick to their job and put side before self and not lose the ball in our own third when he's trying to do a rainbow flick and things. Look, Aaronson loses the ball, but no, I don't know a footballer that has never lost the ball. So it's one of them. And do you sacrifice that excitement for somebody who does things a little bit more drilled and a little bit more regimented, or and make 40 odd million in the process? So I think Bryn hits the spot here with this comment. I hope you don't mind me bringing it up, but Gilly and others are judging Aaronson against his 25 million price tag that was signed in the Premier League. Same with Firpo, had to take a step down to this level to get to grips with English football. I think that's fair. There's a lot of people out there still saying that at the start of this season, if Aaronson comes back, he will be bouldered over and thrown about in this league because he's too lightweight and it's very unforgiving in terms of the defenders and the midfielders. You've got people like Adam Forshaw throwing the feet about and the idiot from Huddersfield from the dickhead centre midfielder. Who was he? What's his name? Anyway, but yeah, people like that in this league they can get away with a little bit more, more at this level. And I think people probably, and some of us on this podcast probably said it as well, that actually the Rizzler paper he was going to be absolutely battered about and just bounced off, and he's proven us wrong. I
actually said I wish I could have seen him in this division right at the start of last season. Actually,
I think it was detriment to his development to not drop down a level, like you said.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. I think it could have done him good.
Yeah, it was just like Bryn said there as well in the comment. It was like Firpo had to drop down a level to get to grips with English football, and now that he has that, we don't know what's going to happen with Firpo in the summer. He's out of contract, but Aaronson's very much the same. If he'd have had that year in the Championship prior to this season, he could be a totally different player altogether. Just to touch on what you were saying about Georgie as well, I think Georgie could be classed as a bit of a flair player. We referred to him as a cheat code in this league last year. And sometimes you can't afford to have those players in a league like this. Like you mentioned, trying to do a rainbow fucking flick out of defence in our own third. They're not the type of player that sometimes you can afford to have if the league is the way it is, and we know what the Championship was, and we saw the best of George, and we saw the very worst of him as well when he'd be losing it all over the place. But
I just wanted to make a comment on what Gilly had said then, just before Steve came in with literally the point I was going to make, that at the start of last season, Gilly had written off Jorginho based on his performance in the Premier League, just like everyone had written off Aaronson in the Premier League. Except that Jorginho had It eventually came out that it wasn't 35 million, that it was closer to 25, 26, 27 million. The 35 million would have been with add-ons, etc. But at the end of the day, they both, like I said, very very similar sort of price tags, but very different styles of play. We got the best out of Jorginho and probably the worst out of Jorginho last season. And I think we're getting the same out of Aaronson this season. So it's fucking potato, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Tomato.
Right, yeah, someone started this message from Richard Hogan. Would Aaronson have played ahead of Georgie last season? Might not have actually seen much game time. We had players who were out injured on the wings where he could have been, an effective player as well. So
Georgie had some time out as well.
Yeah, Georgie was out with that hernia.
And it wasn't as good after that as well.
He would have had opportunities.
Georgie lost a lot of form after that.
I mean, look at
Carl, we're losing you, mate.
Carl is gone to the other realm.
We've lost Carl. Where have you gone, Carl? He's gone. Anyway, question. Oh,
maybe his house has been hit by one of them big fucking fireworks. He's blown him up, blown up his Wi-Fi.
Just
his box on the whole street.
Possibly, yeah.
just Carl.
Possibly. It'd fucking probably. It'd probably help, if something did fucking happen.
Should use that laptop as a frigging shield.
But yeah, anyway.
As predicted.
Frisbee. As predicted. I want to move on to Ao Tanaka and Rothwell in the centre midfield, lads. I read today there's talk of Ampadu coming back early. Possibly, not long after the next international break is what I read. What do you think there, lads? I think they're forming a very good partnership, and we seem to be a little bit more offensively inclined when the both of them are on the pitch at the same time. Smarty, I'll come to you first. What do you think, man?
They're very progressive, forward-thinking players, aren't they? When you caveat that with how Ampadu and Gruev play is very, very defensive-minded, and it's a breath of fresh air, if I'm totally honest. I think, Tanaka's just, you don't really have to even say a great deal about Tanaka. He's just he's just world-class, isn't he? World-class might be a bit of a stretch, but he's certainly world-class in this league compared to everyone else in that sort of position. I think Rothwell's slotted in nicely. I think he contributes well. He's passing is sublime, and it does lose the ball as well. But I like the way he puts himself around. He's very active in the middle of that. You'd be hard pressed to obviously replace him with Ampadu, but at the end of the day, Ampadu is an excellent football player, and I think a lot of people are forgetting actually how good Ampadu is. So for me, as soon as Ampadu is ready, he comes straight back into that side. Unfortunately, at the detriment of Mr. Rothwell. But I think he's done himself proud. I think Rothwell's been brilliant. To be honest, I really do like him. Unlike Gilly, who written him off and said they were shit.
But we all know
here.
Yeah. We all know like Fark is always going to play a permanent player more so than a loan signing. Do you think is that going to affect his decision making when it comes to who to take it out of that front, that midfield too, Luke? Because we can see from Rothwell his dead balls have been absolute quality. So you're also losing that and then trying someone new again, back to Dan James probably, or it might not work out.
Yeah, no, I think Smite makes a great point. People probably, when things are going well, you probably take it a little bit for granted just how good at football Ampadu is and how good he has been for us over the last season and a bit. So, but for me, if we continue with the same trajectory, I think it's very difficult to drop somebody, irrespective of whether they're a loanee or whether they're club captain. I just find that very, very difficult. If we continue with the same progression and controlling games, and actually not just controlling them now and passing the ball left and right for 80 minutes until we're one down or it's 0-0 or 1-1 or whatever, and we have to go for it. We actually do look far more dangerous, and somebody's touched on it there. I forgot who it was, but we just look so good from corners and set pieces with Rothwell, which is something we've missed recently in recent years. I don't remember us having a really good set piece taker since probably Pablo. I don't think we've had one.
Yeah.
Realistically, I know Barry Douglas was here, but I think he left just at the same time as Pablo, didn't he? And he didn't really play all that much. And he wasn't. He didn't really do all that much, but he was rated as a set piece. Yeah. But what do I think? I think you're probably right. I think probably Ampadu, when he's full fitness, probably walks back into the squad. However, I think it's a very, very difficult decision for anybody, especially Daniel Farke, to make, because
there'll be a few bench appearances as well, though. It won't literally be straight away because he won't be match fit. So
and that's suggesting we don't continue with the same trajectory. If we continue winning and drawing and picking up the right amount of points from the right games and things, does he then? That's when the question needs to be asked. Does he then just bring Ampadu back in, or does he wait until maybe Rothwell has a bit of a stinker and uses that as a bit of an option? Or not an excuse. I want to use excuse, but it's not an excuse. But it's just nice to see that we've got so many options. I was talking about it with Joe last night, that we've now got 6 good options. With Gilavugi as well, and Charlie Krug came on at the weekend. So we've now got realistic 6 good options in the centre midfield. Somewhere we've really lacked in recent years, since probably Click and Calvin, and then Dallas as well.
I just want to talk about one thing. Can I just interject 2 seconds? I understand what people are saying about you never change a winning team, etc., because it's at your detriment or at your peril. It's something I say all the time. However, we've seen us change a winning team constantly over the last couple of weeks with people that are serving suspensions. So it's not always a bad thing. And I don't think what we're saying is that Ampadu's going to walk straight back into this as soon as he gets a clear bill of health from the medical team to go, right, mate, you can crack on, go back in. It's not going to happen. You're going to see him coming front bench, aren't you? So yeah, I can see people chomping a little bit in comments.
Yeah,
just before we move on,
just mentioned there, Cal. Sorry, really quickly.
Cal he hates fucking hosting me and you today. He's like, Jesus, these fucking two wankers.
Just before he buffers again.
Well, if you let me fucking talk, then you can have your chance to talk while I'm buffering. So shush the fuck up.
But no,
nibble.
Brennan didn't make the great point. Sorry, Paul. It was Johnny. When Amps is back, could we see him and Rothwell and Tanaka as a 10? I actually would say Rothwell was more of a 10 than Tanaka. But it's an option, isn't it? It's nice to have these options, is what I was going to say, Cal.
Tanaka's a number 8, isn't he?
Do you think, I want to just see what your opinions are, Les. Do you think the kind of negative, well, I wouldn't say negative, but the slow build-up football of Gruev and Ampadu actually invites pressure on us, and as a back line, we tend to suffer a bit more, whereas Tanaka and Rothwell, they're very much on the front foot, and that's kind of where he needs to find the balance when it comes to bringing whoever is going to sit in beside Ampadu eventually.
Go on, Luke. Why you do that one?
I don't really know what you're asking. Sorry,
I'm asking. Do you think because of this? Because you're not listening to me, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, so do you not think that when Ampadu and Gruev, even though they're a good partnership, that they because of the slow build-up, they invite pressure, and our setup is more suited to having Au and Rothwell in the midfield ploughing forward? Do you think is that going to affect much of the decision making around bringing whoever in, because it'll affect a lot of how we play at the moment?
I would like to say we're better defensively with Ampadu and Gruev, but that's been poo-pooed as well, because we've only conceded something like 3 goals in the last since they've been out, or something even less than that potentially. So I don't think that's the starting partnership now. No matter what, I think that's probably 4th or 5th choice, if I'm honest with you. In Gruev and Ampadu, I just don't. That was our best starting lineup at the start of the season. That was our best 2 central midfielders partnership. That's not anymore. That's
we won't be seeing Gruev for a long time. We won't be seeing him for a long time. Gruev, Ampadu, we said that he's
because of his injury, or do you just don't think? Do you think
because of his injury? Because of his injury. I mean, he's not going to be walking in past Rothwell and Tanaka for me. I mean, as much as I do like Gruev, I was going to answer Cal before he had a little flap at you there, which I found quite funny.
So what I was trying to say was,
I think Gruev slows the game down too much for me.
What I was trying to say was, this is what people believe. So what Solenham says: Amps Gruev midfield lets the opposition defence get set a bit more than Joe. Opposition defence, yes. And then Brins confirmed what I said. They've conceded 4 shots in target in 4 games, and 3 of them were versus Watford. So, is attack the best form of defence? Is that what we're saying at this level? We're probably, with the players we've got, yes. Rather than actually invite that pressure with like you say, with Gruev and Ampadu in there. We're not going to see those two play together, arguably, probably all this season.
No.
Yeah, I think that's the last of that duo, to be fair myself. Moving on, lads. What's the crack with Manor? How do you think he played on Saturday when he came on? He'd nearly half an hour or something, didn't he? So, how do you think
he did well?
Do you think
he
did
looked spriteful? I think he's trying to prove a point, but like you say, he's not up to full fitness yet. But like you say, I think it was half an hour or thereabouts. I think you're right. I think he did well. I like. He likes to get stuck in, doesn't he? And it was a difficult game for him to come on again because, like I say, they were still parked well and truly behind each other. They were pretty stacked. But he moves well. He's moving the ball around well. Maybe against a more open team, or someone that's maybe more attack-minded, that we might see him doing his stuff again. But I'm a bit of an advocate for Solomon anyway. I like what he does. Even though people, a couple of weeks ago had written him off, sending him back to Tottenham, he's shit, which blew my tiny little mind. But yeah, I think he's a great asset, and I think he'll do really well once he's back up to full fitness. I think we've got an absolute dynamite winger on our hands.
Yeah, I'd be very much in the same kind of bracket as that, but I was just noticing over. Obviously, he's coming back from injury, but Dan James has. What's that? I've been winding Just Joe.
Yeah, Sean Healy's in the comments said I've been winding Just Joe, calling Solomon Tollis Brolin Mark II.
2.0.
That's what we call Jay. To be fair.
Yeah. But I
Yes,
just
there is a
noticed that
flyby rule. It's a midgie. Fucking midgie.
Sorry, that fly out. I noticed that Solomon was kind of not at the same kind of pace coming back as Dan James. Dan James really hit the ground running for me, and I just thought some of the games recently where he's been coming on, I don't think he was his physical self, because he seemed like he didn't want to go in too hard to get injured again in case he got injured or something like that. But at the moment, I after his injury, I'm still it's still out for me. I'm just not sure just at the moment.
Who on, James or Solomon? Oh, Solomon, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just not come back at the same pace as Dan James has,
Yeah, but Dan James were flying before his injury. Absolutely flying. Massive. He contributed absolutely shitloads last season. He contributed again on Saturday. In a matter of no time. And he's a naturally fast player. A completely different sort of makeup to Solomon. Solomon's had obviously quite a nasty injury, and he's had niggles here, there, and everywhere. Even before he had the last set of setbacks, he wasn't up to 100%. With that sort of player, it's going to take a little bit more time than Dan James.
Yeah.
I think we just need to be a little bit patient, because if we just nurse him back to 100% fitness, he's going away with it on the internationals as well. He'll probably get some game time there. Hopefully, if he remains unscathed from that, that's more game time for him to get his max sharpness back. So it's some people might look at it in a negative way, some people might look at it in a positive way, but really, if we're a glass sort of half full sort of podcast, which I sometimes think then it's only a positive for me. Let him go.
I would rather Manor Solomon was lining up or an option for us than against us or for any other team in the league.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just think his progress back from injury is a lot slower than Dan James. You know what I mean?
But that's quite subjective, innit? Because it depends on the injury. He's obviously got a history of injuries as well. So it's that's quite. I mean, I know where you're coming from in that his impact to the team straight away he hasn't had that level of impact that Dan James has. But Dan James has been with us how many years now? He knows the team, he knows the squad, and it's very much it's I wouldn't say it makes it any easier, but Manor Solomon was just getting to the run of things and just starting to play well and that, and then he picked up another injury. So yeah, I don't think that's probably a good.
What do you think
a
to
litmus
Richard's
test.
comment?
Richard
Hogan says,
comments,
go on, Cal.
worry with Solomon is Levy, and if he decides he isn't happy with his amount of game time, he could be recalled by Spurs and sent elsewhere. Really don't need him going on international break. That's a good point I was going to make. Is the international break? I'd rather he didn't after coming back from such a long while out, to be honest.
Good point.
I'd rather he did, because it gets him more match fitness.
Yeah, but
if he gets injured, if he gets injured for them, he's probably more than likely going to get injured for us.
Do you want him getting match
either way
fit by playing for another side though, for his international side?
If needs be. I mean, he's not.
I'd rather him have half an hour for us than them.
Yeah, we don't know. He might play full 90 for them. End of the day, he's getting more games, more minutes into his legs, isn't he? I understand what people are saying, but it's not like we absolutely desperately need him. We have got cover there. If he's going to break, he's going to break, regardless of whether he's playing for us or playing for someone else. If it helps him get match sharpness.
With Ramazani injured.
Well, Ramazan is hopefully going to be back for December, isn't he? So we're only looking at a few weeks away. 4 weeks away, another 4 weeks, is it, or something?
I know what you're saying.
I know what you're saying. You know what I mean? We've got Dan James, we've got Nonto, we've got
international break.
I just think, for me personally, I don't mind him going away. And the whole the worry with Solomon about Levy, pulling him. End of the day, he's been injured. He was playing every single game up to his injury, and has been making minutes coming back. It's not like he's been sat frozen out on bench. So there's absolutely no way that Levy would call him back. But I can see why people would think. Go on, Ian. You know your shit.
Smarty. There you go. We move along anyway, lads.
Fucking sort
there's a
your
bit
internet
here I
out.
want to have a chat about and whatnot. We had Crew and Chambers.
Cal.
Is he?
It's this laptop.
Gone.
It's his laptop, he says.
It is his laptop. His internet's fine.
Be back.
You're back now. You're back
There. No.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the
Sweet.
show.
Okay. Thanks, lads. Appreciate that. And we're back from a quick ad break there.
Hopefully they
should
put
just
an
have
ad
some
on for
little-
everybody for that few seconds.
Some little like dentist tune.
yeah.
Just while Cal's fucking laptop sorts itself out, man. Go on.
Yeah. So we had Crew and Chambers make their senior debuts for the for us on Saturday.
The fetuses.
Both looked very tidy. Both looked pretty confident on the ball, all that. But what does Isaac Schmidt have to do to start getting more minutes, lads? That must be a bit demoralising for him now at this stage.
I don't think we need to worry about it. I honestly do not think we need to worry about it. I think worry about it when he has to play and if he's good enough then, because at the moment he doesn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We've got Sam Byram, who's played the majority of his career or a good portion of his career in the Premier League. You know, and he can play left or right back, and then call on Isaac Schmidt if we need him. Like there's no need for him now. If Firpo and Bogle are both out, then that's when we might need him. Daniel Farke sees him week in, week out training. Look, people are saying how great he was in the Austrian League, Swiss League, the Swiss League, and great. That's great that we've got that as an option. But if we don't need to use that option and we're doing well enough without it, what is the worry? Why are people so fixated on making sure that they get to see these players when actually they probably aren't ready? And the reason, we saw this. Daniel Farke likes to do this, doesn't he? We saw it quite early on with was it Ramazani? Anyway, Farke tends to, if somebody isn't up to speed, there could be lots of variables as well. He might not be settling in properly. He might not speak. He might not be getting on well with Willie Nonto, and they're expected to both play on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. He might not be getting on with Dan James. There might be underlying things that actually there's a reason for it. Yes, I think we probably should have seen 5 when we're 3-0 up at home. We probably should have seen 5, give him 5 or 10 minutes to actually see how he gets on. But that's not our call to make. Let's not worry about it. Parker seems to be making the right calls at the minute.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like I only throw the question out there. That's all. Just wondering what the crack is. Smarty, do you have anything to kind of elaborate on that, or would you like to talk about how Charlie Crew and Chambers got on with their debuts?
Crew were unlucky to not get his goal as well, wasn't he? A cracking effort right at the end. I think Chambers looked very good as well, and there's people, worrying about that sort of that right wing position. If Nonto picks up another yellow card versus Millwall, I think he serves a suspension as well. I'd be quite happy to see Chambers, maybe come on and fill that spot, I suppose. Maybe they could share it between, obviously Dan James might be going to that. He's more predominantly right wing, I suppose, than James. We've got more cover, and like you say, it's seeing the young lads come on. It's they're more than capable at this level. I'm absolutely sure. Not to throw them into the deep end like we did with Archie Gray or anything, but to make these sort of appearances off the bench and contribute, slowly at the start. Absolutely fine. Yeah, I think they both look really good. Very confident.
Yeah. What about yourself, Luke? Were you happy to see 2 more academy players make their debuts?
Yeah, absolutely. That is great to see, and just shows how well we are and how well stacked we are in the youth as well. Joseph coming through. I know we signed Joseph, but he still came through and played a lot of 21s and 23s football. And Joffrey as well. The unknown Joffrey, whatever he's doing these days. But really quite happy to see that, and they both did really well as well. They both just slotted in as. They were still better than every other player on the field in terms from a Plymouth perspective.
Yeah.
Crew unlucky not to get a goal when he hit it. I like to see that from a midfielder. And Chambers getting in behind his man as well. I thought he could have maybe been a little bit more selfish and had a shot from a tight angle.
Yeah, that was good. I liked what I saw myself. I thought Chambers showed he's got good ability to be strong on the ball. He completely nailed your man with a fair shoulder and nearly put him in the south stand with the rest of the Leeds fans as well. And it was nice to see that he's not afraid to put himself about. I think he's only 17, the pair of them, are they?
Yeah,
17,
I think so.
18.
Yeah.
And it just shows the confidence that they have, and a lot of that is to do with how they're interacting with the senior team in training the whole time as well. You know, Fark has given that he's given that confidence to them to be able to just go, right, yeah, I'm well able for it. You know, so it's a joy to see 2 more young fellas coming through the academy, and hopefully there's a few more. We've got, you know, young Gray coming through as well, Harry Gray. So we'll see what the crack is with him. He's out injured at the minute, unfortunately.
Yeah. Just a couple of comments, Carl, just before you move on.
Yep.
On Schmidt before we move. Fark has basically said he's been poorly. He's had knocks,
Okay.
2 knocks, and once he's up to standard of the rest of the group, he'll be used. Richard Hogan says spoke about in the press today. He's been a bit off it recently, needs to get back up to speed. And Ian Ward said he just basically needs to improve in training. It's a roundabout way of saying he's not been very good in training.
Fair. Well, that's all stuff that he has to take on board himself, I guess. And if he doesn't improve on it, we won't see him. Simple as that. I know we touched on him briefly earlier on for his ability to press when he noticed someone further behind him pressing ahead of him. Joel Pirot, do you think is he starting to kind of stake a claim for that number 9 role, even though he wears number 10? Smarty.
Based on his goals, yes. Based on his performances, I don't know. You know, for me, Pirot's weaknesses is still the fact that I think his movement is still limited. He's quite slow. I've said that he looks like he's towing a caravan.
Yeah.
It's still the case. You know, personally, I'd preferred Pirot to come on as a substitution later on in the game. I do like Joseph, even though he's not been getting many opportunities. Well, he's had a couple of, but only the same sort of opportunities as Pirot has. You know, he's had a couple of, pretty bad misses or whatever. But, the strikers, in this league are going to do that. That's why they're playing Championship football. I would prefer to have Joseph starting, if I'm honest, with Pirot to come on later. But he's good. He's got good tidy feet as Pirot, and if the ball were to fall to anyone in that box, I would choose him probably 9 times out of 10. So I'm happy to see Fark using him. I don't. It's not going to ruin my day seeing Pirot start for us. I'm quite happy to see Joseph, but if it were me, I'd probably flip him round. But we'll see against these better teams. To be fair. Now I think we've played most of the best teams, and I think I think the average position of our next 12 fixtures is about 15th place. I think. So we'll see. Hopefully, Pirot can pull his socks up a little bit and do something else. But I'm relatively happy with what we got at the minute. I don't have any gripes with anyone really.
Yeah,
apart from Meslier, I think Meslier is still shit.
We'll touch on him now in a moment. You do make a good point though with the whole Joseph thing. I think I've said it previously on other pods where you kind of want Joseph on there with the pressing he does to kind of wear the centre backs out, bring on Pirot, and he can find that space then in and around the 2 centre backs that wouldn't normally be there if they weren't already knackered. Luke, who would you prefer to see start? I know Smarty said he'd prefer to see Joseph in that, and
I think they've both been pretty poor in terms of output. I think Joseph's missed some gilt-edged chances this season, and probably a good handful as well of very good chances. And as you say, Pirot's not been great other than his goal, but he's getting the goals, so it's a really quite a tough one. Pirot seems to be more effective early on in the season with goals from the bench. I think he's scored something like a goal every 88 minutes or something this season that he's played. So it's a goal involvement every 88 minutes or something like that. So It's not a bad return. We know what he's made of. We know we give him the ball in the box and he gets a decent shot off. He's likely going to score. He's Pirot. The same can't be said for Joseph. However, what you do get from Joseph is somebody's going to hassle the back 2 a little bit and make a bit of a nuisance of himself, and he's a bit quicker. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and it's a great question because do you drop one for the other in specific games, or do For me, no. I think you stick with if your striker scored a goal, you stick with him because it's almost as bad as dropping a goalkeeper. If you drop a striker after they've scored a goal in the game before, what's that going to do to their confidence levels? Really?
Yeah.
But
psychologically, I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, you probably stick with Hero for now. However, in an ideal world, you probably look at playing them to the strengths of the team that you're up against in the next game, and striker is going to be very, very difficult. I was a striker when I played, and I played at a shit level. But even if you ever got dropped, it's straight. You think it's because that other person better than me, but it's not necessarily. They've both got different strengths, and if we could clone a baby from the two of them, then we'd have almost a perfect striker, but he wouldn't be at Leeds United. So, tough question for me. You don't drop Pirro after he scored a goal. But I think Joseph probably offers more, as you say, tiring defenders out, bring Pirro on, and he's going to get a goal in 70 minutes.
The thing is, though, like you said, you can't tire defenders out if they don't have the ball. And 9 times out of 10, we've got all the ball. I suppose, if you're playing someone who is very heavily possession-based like us, then you'd maybe use Joseph in that sort of role, like you said, to hustle the centre-backs and to press them from the front, which Pirro just does not do. But I mean, I know Skip's saying he said in the top. Hold on, let me sort my PC out. He said I know Smarty doesn't like Pirro. I do like Pirro. I think he's a cracking player. I just think that sometimes some game types benefit him and some don't. I'm quite happy to see the lineup change, etc., depending on who we play. But I'm absolutely fine with Pirro starting. It's only 12 months ago people were calling him the worst fucking player in the whole team, and they'd written him off completely. So
as 15 goals last season,
exactly. The people
year,
had absolutely written him off last year, and now all of a sudden he's the fucking second coming.
Every other team in our league would cut their hands off for a Pirro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's just the way we play. It's not that it doesn't suit him. It's like he needs to get up to speed to how we play. You can see him getting in them positions now and stuff.
You have to remember this.
Yeah, and they're all like we saw it there. Us. Yeah, Plymouth last week Saturday was a prime example. 6 at the back. I mean, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean. So you kind of look at it like that, and you're like, well, you still have to break down a 6-man defence and a 3-man in front of you, and it's he's going to struggle in scenarios like that. But when he was with Swansea, he had all the room in the world because no one ever, teams didn't go up against Swansea with the fear that they come up against us with. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts for him. But Joe Bedford put in the comments there that she heard that. A little bit like Firpo Smarty.
Well, everyone had written him off, including myself. There were people in the social media sphere, the fan content sphere, that said that they were actually better football players than Firpo himself. I don't think I was one of them. I did say that Firpo was one of the worst footballers I'd ever seen. But at the end of the day,
they got his shit together.
Yeah, but like I say, things change. And thankfully, Firpo's played under 3, 4 different managers, including Allardyce. 5 different managers, including Allardyce.
You signed under Bielsa, wasn't it?
Bielsa, Marsh, Gracia, Allardyce, and now Fax. That's 5 different managers. At some point, some sort of style he's gonna suit a player more than the others. So it's all relevant and it's all swings and roundabouts and shit.
Yeah. Well, thanks, lads, for indulging me there and not talking about the whole game. It was quite nice. It was nice just to have a chat and see how things are panning out and without pigeonholing it to the game. But it was good. Thanks very much. We'll go on to this part of the show now, if that's all right.
Hey, has got a shit tick this week, my little spat of fact.
So, there's some shit takes in the brand. Should we start with this one? So, I'm not sure who put this one in.
That's from Roland Buttonham.
This is from Roland, giving us a shit take of the week. It's from Sickross 2.0. Fark is chlamydia, Parker is AIDS. Hope this helps. I don't know how you can kind of.
Do you have any
elaborate
context
on
behind
that.
this?
So the context behind it was after Burnley got beat the other day, and they were comparing the two managers and basically saying that Parker's shit, but Parker's shitter.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Is that
okay.
because
I
Burnley
thought it
are
was-
starting to get a bit fed up of the Bladigan sporting legend that is Scotty Parker?
Blardigan. Yeah, I think they might be.
Humnit.
They might be starting to suss him out a little bit. I think losing to.
It's sort of
losing
like
to
our
Millwall
fan
ain't-
base.
ain't a great
You know,
look.
Jesus Christ, everyone.
We lose
you know,
a game and that happens, doesn't it?
Oh, his
I don't
worst
know.
bloody
Yeah.
manager. We should have got.
I think he's a
fucking,
Leeds
I don't
fan,
know,
by the way.
Who?
This game.
Scott Parker.
No, Skizzers or whatever it was called.
Skizzers.
Oh, okay, right, fair.
Skizzers. There was a guy that walked out on Saturday, 2 rows in front of
and
me,
we
that
have
said, "Oh, Carl's lagging again."
We have this one as well.
Are you there, Carl?
I am. Am I back there now? Where are you gone?
There you go.
Fuck.
I'm going to
Back.
mute him for a sec. I'm going to mute him for a second. We'll take
You do
that.
it.
Never seen a player look more panicked when the ball comes to him other than Aaronson. Looks completely unaware of where he might go next, and he's still pushed off the ball so easily. 4 goals, yeah, great stuff, but the dude's skying sitters and getting pushed over by the wind still. He's got a comment underneath saying, "I'd have him over George any day." Oh, I believe this might be the shit take, this bit. I'd have him over George any day of the week. Suits the system better and not going on daft. Runs all the time and losing possession. So Gilly's tagged shit take of the week in. I think Carl's back now. Are you back with us, Carl?
Yeah, I think I'm back. I think I might be Smarty.
That's great.
Sweet. I'll put on my worst Irish accent for you in a minute. Yeah, that's like we had this. This is why I kind of wanted to chat about the whole Georgie and Aaronson thing earlier on, with this coming up. I'm. Is it is a shit take to a certain
It's a shit
extent,
take depending on
but
how you
then
look at
the
it,
same
innit, Carl?
Yeah, exactly
Because
that. Like,
some people would agree with some of that, and some people wouldn't. But this is Gilly's entry, so we feel we've got to put it in. But this is only a shit take if you have the belief of Gilly. And let's be fair, Gilly's not got much right this season.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
he's got,
absolutely.
Yeah. So it can be a shit take. It cannot be a shit take. It depends on what you want from it, I guess. We don't have any more, lads, do we?
One more.
Just those. One more.
I believe so.
Is there? No.
I think it's just 2. I think it's just
No,
2.
no.
Doing it.
No.
Doing it. Have you got
There's
something
definitely
else?
another one.
Is there?
I've only put 2 in.
Well, there should have been another one. I'll get it up on my screen.
That's what she said.
Okay.
So the whole Aaronson thing, man. Like you say, it's got a split opinion. But if you were to say, I think we've already elaborated slightly on this earlier. But I think if you were to say, with hindsight, who suits the team better, then Aaronson is probably that guy. The most frustrating thing watching Jorginho playing football or watching him take on 3 guys, make absolute mincemeat out of them, and then lose it to some dipstick at edge at box, and then counter us.
Our own box.
And Aaronson fights to get it back, whereas Jorginho didn't really. So, hi Luke too.
Okay. Is this your split personality joining us here, Luke?
No, it's because he's doing it on his phone. That's what I did earlier.
Ah,
so
right. Okay.
He'll be adding into brand.
Fair enough. But yeah, that it can be a shit. It can't be a shit decision. Shit take. I'm sure there's plenty more out there. We just didn't see them, I guess.
It's because Gilly thinks Aaronson's dog shit, like he does so many other of our players, until he's absolutely, humbly proven wrong. He was wrong about Jorginho. He said Jorginho was shit, which, to be fair, in the Premier League he was. However, he was still slating him at the start of last season. He was he slated Rothwell off this season. He's slaughtered.
Did he slag off Rafinha at one point?
He slagged Rafinha off when he started playing for us as well.
Yeah, it kind of.
There's many shit takes. Shit takes. He's just massively overly zealous with his opinions of people before they've started. I mean, we said right from the start when Rothwell joined, give the guy time. He's not even kicked a frigging ball for us. Look at fucking state of that.
Look at this.
Jesus, I can see up your nose there.
I didn't even know he was on. You're on mute there. Oh, that's some funny shit. Didn't even know he was on.
Joe Bedford is in the comments saying, I still think Aaronson is often overthinking and trying too hard in front of goal at times, thanks to his history with us. That's a fair point. You know, you can see that he's trying, but also that he said that he's come out and said that he's enjoying his football. He thinks he's playing good football, which is good because that means that he's, mentally he's in a good place. And you don't want,
absolutely.
Fucking that poor lad. I used to slate Aaronson like mad. I think we all did, really. But what you don't want is there was a bit of controversy at the start of the season with him coming back into the fold, and obviously it didn't sit right with the fans. Myself, I wasn't necessarily happy, but I said once I've told him that he's a twat, that I can shout at him outside at pitch, that's it. I'm over it then. I'm done. And I think he's proven himself, well worthy of a start in the team. I think he's doing well for us. So and at the end of the day, if he's grafting, if he's contributing, then you can't really gripe at the guy.
No,
he loses the ball, but a lot of people do. So
he's putting in a serious effort the whole time, and look, as fans, that's the one thing we always criticise players for. If they're not putting in the effort, they'll always get it in the ear hole. You know what I mean? So at least he's doing that. Luke, have you?
I've got it.
You've got it.
And it is this. It's this.
Shit take.
Leeds United wishing happy 22nd birthday to LUFC under-21s midfielder Amari Miller. And
is LUFC Youth an official account?
Yeah, they are affiliated. So and they've not even got a picture of him in a kit that's less than 2-3 years old. So I didn't even know he was still there. First of all,
19, 18, 19, and that. So is he?
Yeah, so but under 20, the youth wishing happy birthday to a 22nd birthday to an under 21s player.
Easy for you to say.
There you go.
So that's my take of the week. The poll is live, by the way, so we'll come back to that.
Sweet. We're going to move on, lads. We'll see which one wins that. Move on to Millwall. They had a very impressive win at the weekend. And it's like as hard as it normally is going down there, it's going to make it doubly hard.
We're in London.
At the same time.
That's the fucking difference.
See, I'm on the fucking ball with that one, and you were that one.
Oh, was that you?
Did you do that?
I fucking did that.
I thought he'd done that then. I thought you absolute bastard interrupting him like that.
Sorry, Luke. We come to you first, man. They've had a very good. They've had a very good win. They've had 3 wins on the bounce. They're having a bit of a high hope at the moment. Always a difficult place to go. We kind of bitch slapped them last year down there.
They were shit last year, to be fair.
They were shit last year, but in saying that, they look fairly capable under Gary Rowett again this year. Or is it Harris? Harris, excuse me.
It's Harris, yeah.
Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much spot on, Carl. You've just answered it for me. I think it is a very, very tough place to go. Not adding to that, it's midweek. It's getting cold and that now as well. It's just not a nice journey, and it's not a nice venue either, is it? So, very, very tough game. I said last night out of the next 2, if we got 4 points, I'd be happy, and I think the draw of the 2 is likely to come tomorrow night, which some people will frown upon, but it's a good point away from home against a team that are right in form, and Harris is a wanker, and if he wanted to get anything on us, he would. So. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very, very tough game tomorrow night. And I don't think for the right reasons either. I think we might be a bit sloppy. I think they'll make us play to their game style, and it'll be a little bit sloppy. They'll make us lose the ball quite often. The passing, the rhythm will go a little bit, and it's just not going to be a great watch. And
rhythm.
I hope I'm really wrong, and we're sat here celebrating a win on Brady and Coke. But I just have a feeling about tomorrow that I would be happy with a point right now.
Are you on Brady and Coke?
That is fair, yeah.
I think it's me and Jay. Again, I'm on again.
Smarty, I'm going to come to you next. Harris was at the Sheffield United game. When he was walking into Ellen Road, he was saying to a few supporters that he was going to watch the 2 best teams in the league that would potentially be first and second. He couldn't tell either way, and then he's come out in his press conference this week and said that out of the two, he expects nobody to kind of finish above Leeds. We know Harris hates us, like Neil Harris. It's there's no love lost there. But do you think that's a psychological game he's starting to play there, considering the run that they've gone on at the moment, which is quite a good run, and they are very dangerous going forward,
I mean, people were on about Wilder, saying the same things, and that didn't really give a shit. I know he was quite humble in the post-match stuff as well, wasn't he? There are managers out there that at the end of the day, you're gonna come a cropper if it's difficult in it, because this whole psychology thing stems from teams doing it, so many decades ago or whatever. I think Arsene Wenger and fucking Alex Ferguson, and just to name a couple, I think Jose Mourinho's, a stickler for it as well. I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't think Millwall have played a team like us this season. I think that it will be a difficult game to go there. It always is. But I just think if we just go down and play our game, at the end of the day, there is no team in this division that's as good as us. And I know we lost to Burnley, and I know we fucked up against Sunderland, but there isn't a team, and I expect us to finish as champions this season. I think if we don't, then we've missed a massive opportunity, because this league is not like it was last year. At this point last season, I think Leicester were 14 points ahead of us already. I think Ipswich were 12. It's a completely different league. And we need to go down. They've had a good run, but so have we, and we're a better football team. So we'll see how it sets up. I mean, they're not going to set up defensively or too defensively at home, I wouldn't have thought. They might play on the front foot, which suits us down to the absolute ground.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I expect to go and give them a bit of a hiding, humble them slightly, I think.
Yeah, Russ is in the comments here as well. First goal is crucial tomorrow. Millwall unbeaten since February. Jesus, I'm assuming that's at the new den.
First.
When they've scored
first. Okay. Yeah, but we haven't been beaten since fucking Christ knows how long since. I don't think we've ever lost a game under Fark when we've scored first.
That's very true, yeah. Scooby also makes a good point here regarding the Millwall game. I think it'll we'll get a no, hold on, wrong one. Where's that one gone? Oh, it's just gone. There was a good one there. Can't find it now. I think we'll get a pen and end up reasonably comfortable. Then Saturday we'll be tired, lifeless, and uninventive. I think that's a good point. They've played Sunday as well, so it's like
we said that against friggin' Plymouth as well. That and any other team that's lurking down, gurgling round the plug hole of the Championship are going to come and just park the bus and sit deep at Elland Road. And we have found a way to get around these sort of teams now. With persistence and Dan James. As soon as Dan James broke the deadlock at 1-0, it was like the friggin' gates had opened, hadn't they? Until we kind of took his foot off the gas and just it was like a training game for us. Really won it against Plymouth. So Millwall, I think it'll be a good game down there. I think both teams will be at it. I think they'll hit us on the front foot. I think that are we covering QPR? I think we need to touch on QPR, don't we? Because we ain't got a pod before then either.
Oh, that's
might need to maybe. Yeah, I think QPR.
Actually, you could touch on it in B and C. Yeah.
We can have a little talk. I mean, if we're talking on the two, if we're talking on the two, I think Millwall is the tougher of the two games. I think QPR is shite this year. I think the 23rd or 22nd or something in the league. They're absolutely fucking crap. So that's the games we need to be going out and absolutely smashing. You draw away from home and you win all home games. You go up as champions every season.
Yeah.
You look at our run now. I mean, it's just absolutely mental. Like the opportunity now to put some real distance between us and the other, the chasing pack now, from third place downwards, we've got a real opportunity to get some points on the board.
Yeah,
real opportunity.
This could be this could be a kind of a run like it was in March after the international break coming up to Christmas.
Potentially. I mean, I don't think it will, but potentially. QPR are losing 3-1
But it's against
tonight,
those teams that we should be kind of looking to beat as well. So you'd kind of hope it would be at the time to put a run like that together, We're going to have to do 2 doses of score predictions tonight, lads, because we'll have to do tomorrow night for Millwall and Saturday for QPR. So I'll take the old things down. Smarty, I'll go to you first, seeing as you're higher up the league.
Am I? Am I now? Oh, what a turn of events.
Higher than me.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Am I higher than Luke? I mean,
Check the
obviously,
league table
in real life I am, but in the table I don't think I am. No, Luke, you're two. You and Carl are actually both above me, so you're full of shit, Carl.
Yeah,
What
Carl.
are you
but I'll go
fucking on
first.
about then up the table. Yeah, you go first.
I am up the table.
Go
I was
first,
at
Mark.
fucking bottom 2 weeks ago. I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds against Millwall.
2-1 Leeds. All right. Fans, get a prediction in. First come, first serve there. Luke,
They're already one
what can I
step
get
ahead
from
of
you,
you
man?
I will go 1-1 tomorrow night.
Okay. I'm going to go 3-1 Leeds.
We're going to go with Mark Edison because I don't think we've used Mark Edison's predictions this season so far. Andy, Ollie's that way. I think we have. So he's gone Leeds 2, Millwall 1.
Leeds 2.
And he's gone Leeds 3, QPR 1 for the QPR game.
That's a lot of goals conceded in 2 games against 2 shit
It is.
oppositions. Considering we've only conceded 4 shots on target in 4
I
games.
think we may concede. It might be more 2-0 to be fair.
Right, I'll take your
Oh, we've lost him again.
Oh,
He's
Carl.
gone. What's your prediction
Yeah.
for QPR, Luke?
Have you gone?
I've not gone. Luke has.
I'm going to go
Carl has.
2-0 against QPR.
2-0.
2-0.
I'm gonna go 4-0 against QPR.
4-0.
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
I think we're gonna batter him. Batter him.
Right, I'm going to go... I go 3-1 or 3-0 against QPR.
I know that people are in predictions league in the comments, but I can't be asked writing your scores down, so Gilly's gonna have to do a bit of graft and message you all.
It was his stupid idea to get everyone involved,
Yeah,
eh?
he can earn his coin.
That's exactly it. Well, I've got those down there anyway, lads. So we've got 1 or 2 more things to go through. We've got an Andy's Man Club announcement. So I'll Luke, do you want to read through that, or will I read through it, or?
I could do that for you, mate. You look anything for you. Just let me know.
Well, go for it. There,
Delegation, that's what I like.
So upcoming social events with AMC, weekly recovery run, runners group run. Oh, fuck off.
Well recovered.
You're putting your teeth back in.
Weekly recovery runners group run. Fucking, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Wednesday evening, meet at 5:45 for a 6 o'clock start. Meet at 5 Ways at the Recovery Academy, Westfield Road, Woodhouse. The monthly pool night is Friday the 15th of November at the Northern Snooker Centre, 6:30 till 8:30. Tables 17 and 18 upstairs, free to attend. We are open Mondays, we being AMC, 7 to 9 for any man over the age of 18. Call in for a brew and a chat to one of the 6 venues across the city. See Facebook for details, and if anybody does want any more details, you're more than welcome to DM us and we'll pass those on for you.
And remember, the one has
Excellent.
opened up in Morley as well, just on the off chance that people haven't heard about that one. It's only opened in the last month or so, so just get yourselves down there if you fancy a chat to Morley. Check out their website for all location
Oh, fuck off,
details.
Sheffield United.
Oh, the absolute fucking degenerates.
98-minute winner.
Who gives a shit, man? The fucking
Yeah, but what
wank.
doesn't matter to us anyway.
Yeah, just all we'll
Beat
have to
who
do
you've
is
got in
win.
front of you.
Be
Fuck
sound.
everyone else. Don't worry about everyone else and what they're doing. Just play
Piss
who you
with the
fucking
dick
need
you've
to
got,
play.
Smarty, huh?
Exactly.
Yes.
Just fucking
That's
just beat everyone else.
exactly it.
That's all we need to do.
Would you like to know who the shit take of the week winner is?
Yes.
Please, if you wouldn't mind.
Right. So this week, the shit take of the week winner goes to Barker is an STI with 48% of the votes. Aaronson versus Georgie, so Gilly's shit take getting 24% of the votes, and happy 22nd birthday to a 21s player, 28%. So yeah, runaway winner Farker is an STI.
Sweet. That's cool. I hope he enjoys his coffee cake in his glass.
Hey, has got a shit tick this week, my little sparafact.
There we have it.
Thanks, man. It's always nice to hear that tune before we hit the road, isn't it?
I love it.
Lads, thanks for it. Have you got any other business that you'd maybe like to fire out there, lads? Or are we kind of dragging the arse out of it now? Should we finish up? Or?
No, I know we don't do politics, but make sure you go and vote tonight for either Trump or Harris if you are American, because I'm sure it's going to make a big difference to your lives. Not that I have a clue what's going on over there, because apparently you can win one and not the other. One's a public vote and one's a popularity vote, I believe, or something stupid. So fuck knows how it all works. So confusing. Them Americans are mad as a box of frogs.
Yeah,
it's all fucked, innit?
Yeah,
it's all fucked,
anyway. Politicians, blah. Yeah, thanks for joining us, folks. Appreciate it. Look out for, is it Smarty, yourself, and Jay that's on?
Unfortunately, yes.
Night,
people will have to tune into myself and the small person that is Jay Cartier and his ponytail, of course. We'll be probably not tomorrow because it'll be a bit too late. So Thursday we will be convening and discussing the massive win against Millwall tomorrow.
Excellent stuff. Yeah. Luke, any sign of you over the pods at this week, Renton?
No, and I won't be there. No pudding from me. Beat it.
No pudding.
Just want to say a big congratulations to Ger Lynch. He got married there last weekend. Congratulations, Ger. And Yank Hannah, who's in the Predictions League, it was her birthday today, so happy birthday, Yank Hannah. And I think that's about the size of it, lads.
Yeah, there's one more thing.
Go on.
There's one more thing. I don't think it's been popped into the... did you put that in, Smarty?
What's that, mate?
Oh, it's in there.
The passing thing. The passing thing.
Yes.
The stats
Yes,
thing.
I did, mate.
It is in there, yes.
Put it in for you, especially. Just for you.
Especially.
Okay. One thing we haven't really talked about, really quickly, is the passing stats. And we're Pascal Struijk 81%, and now people are going to say it's because we pass backwards and sideways, but ultimately, I think that's a good barometer. I think it's a nice stat to have when your centre back is top of the, because he's not always safe at passing, is he? Let's be honest. He sometimes brings it forward.
But the proof's in the pudding. There, he's clearly.
I mean, to say that Joe Rodon and Pascal Struijk are in the top 5 says everything for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great that they're there, but fucking hell, come on. Let's take his rose tinted off for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
There was actually one other thing that hasn't been popped in, and it was I knew what I was looking for, and it wasn't actually this. It was unfortunately Jack, the young lad who lost his life recently, celebrated his life on 12 minutes against QPR on Saturday. If you have seen that being retweeted by us, please do share and make everyone aware that the 12th minute will be in memory of celebrating Jack's life. So rest in peace from us all here, Jack, and thoughts out to your friends and family.
We'll be about 8:30 Whitesnake, same sort of time as we do this. It's about 8:30 on Thursday.
Channel. Right, lads. Thanks very much, Luke. Appreciate that little bit at the end. That was very nice. Obviously, QPR fans as well join in the celebration of the young fella. We'll catch you on Thursday, Smarty and Jay, and enjoy the game tomorrow, lads.
Cheers, Carl.